You can do better. If I had $1 for every time a family man struggling with an addiction to pornography and masturbation told me that he needed to find the root cause of his behavior and then all his issues would be solved, I'd have so much money, I'd be producing this animation for you from somewhere in the Bahamas. For some of you who are in the beginning steps of quitting your out-of-control behavior with porn, sex, and masturbation, you may need to identify the pain, the type of stress, the strong emotion, or the environmental factor which creates your urges. And no, your urges are not random and they are not the result of a quote-unquote high sex drive. But for most of you, you simply need to rewire your brain from overexposure to high-speed internet pornography. Your problem isn't that you need to figure out or gain more clarity about what happened to you 20 years ago or make peace with a traumatic event from the past. Your problem is that you've allowed your behavior with pornography and masturbation to grow into an out-of-control, rampaging beast which is affecting your life in the present moment while seeking a solution in the past. Sadly, that problem is exacerbated by another problem you have created. You believe you can control it in the present moment using sheer willpower. You have no boundaries. Your awareness of your specific addiction cycle, which is the series of events which ends up with you pathetically wiping white slime off your belly button at 1 a.m. in your home office, is weak. You feel shame and guilt. You think that it's a personal problem and feel that it would make you less of a man if you sought out help from another man. And if that isn't enough, you've also achieved a certain level of success and overcome certain adversities in your life. So you believe that you actually have what it takes to handle this particular issue. In some unfortunate cases, you've only achieved the level of comfort, also known as mediocrity, which you mistakenly assume to be success. You've been focusing on the number of days you were not watching porn or masturbating only. You've been measuring your success or lack of it based on an ideal, a certain number of days or months. Absolutely 100% porn-free. 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year. You want more success, but rarely look to your past successes, those dozens of days over the years when you actually overcame your urges, the days when you actually won, which is your actual success indicator. You're trying to win the war, but discounting every battle you ever won. For those who actually keep detailed records of your number of days of pornography and masturbation, you scratch your head as to why it feels like 3 steps forward, 10 steps back. Perhaps your counselor hasn't explained to you properly that it is not the number of consecutive days of pornography and masturbation that keeps you going in your recovery for the long term, but the lessons learned and the self-awareness gained from your wins, which are your platform to the next level of your reboot. It's like having a bank account called your self-image. Every time you make a promise to yourself like, I will not slip for the next 30 days, and you do, it's a withdrawal. Every time you keep a promise to yourself like, I will avoid spending time alone on the internet when I am at home, and you do, it's a deposit into that account. When you have more withdrawals than deposits from your account, you're overdrawn and your self-image becomes weak and vulnerable. You are broke in that area of your life. Some of you have other backup accounts like your career achievements, your net worth, your social standing. So you draw on these accounts to cover the self-image account, which is constantly in the red. And you tell yourself, my other accounts, they were once empty. If I can keep these accounts full, surely I'll be able to take care of this one and stop being so broke. You get caught in an endless cycle of scraping up pennies from different parts of your life to fill up an account which requires a high balance. You forget that when building those other accounts, you often had emotional support, accountability, the right environment, a community of others striving to fill the same accounts, transparency, and lots of resources. Sometimes even a successful mentor who helped you fill one account faster than others around you. Some of you feel great in every aspect of your life. You have a 6-figure income, a beautiful, caring wife, great kids, supportive family, wonderful friends, and a bright future. but you still can't work out how to stop masturbating for hours to the nastiest of pornography every week. It's a stressful and ultimately disastrous way to live your life. You never catch up, and the effects compound slowly but surely over the years. I can see why you think just find the root cause or being strong-willed enough will be the answer. I thought it was the answer too, but it's not. Digging deep and discovering the root cause or the family of origin issue only exacerbates all the present moment problems you already have and continue to ignore. Not to mention, if you do not have the coping skills or tools to handle your behavior now, what makes you think you'll have the skills to handle the deep root cause issue? Listen, recovery based on willpower or diving deep into your past when the former fails is not the best way to free yourself from your behavior. Following a system with measurable progress is. You get a better result by focusing on your wins instead of your slips. You stop counting days and measure changes in your emotional state instead. A system which accurately narrows down the biggest risks to your recovery and identifies your best opportunity for preventing relapses. One that shows you how to manage your biochemistry via your schedule, environment, and health in order to have more control of your emotions. A system which matches you with the coping skills best suited for your personality type, and one that does all of this in 1/4 of a year, 90 days. It requires focus, discipline, and letting go of the ego, which is stopping you from asking for help with understanding your situation and with what specific metrics to measure and improve. It also requires strong boundaries with technology and a freeze on social media use. You heard that correctly. Your spur of the moment, make you feel good, dopamine-inducing browsing for the news, sports updates, hot chicks on Instagram, interesting videos on YouTube, Wikipedia research, all that gets frozen. No more entertainment, which could lead to a relapse until your structure is in place and we start racking up some wins and bring your self-belief in your ability to end this once and for all off life support. And this is where some of you will stop watching this video. But for those of you that keep watching, remember this. This endless struggle cycle that you think you're in, that can end. In 90 days' time, things can look completely different. You've tried to quit porn and control your behavior with masturbation the same way you have for years. Will you commit to 90 days of work to make it better? It's a simple question, but one with very big implications. What is your answer? Visit pornreboot.com/LP to learn more. Don't go broke trying to fill that self-image account. Just get better. Until we speak next, make sure you keep those wins coming in every day. Your brother in this struggle, JK Emezi.